Welcome to the Crazy Town Podcast. I'm Jonas.
And I'm TNT9, the mighty explosive one. Let's crack into another one.
TNT,
Yo.
have you ever worked at a job where you had to have a non-compete clause in your contract?
Like you said, look, I'm not gonna lie, Jonas. You said non-compete before the pod began, and I didn't know what it meant, and I'm gonna have to say it stands to this day. I still don't know what the hell that means. What does that mean?
Okay, so a lot of times in professional industries, if you have to sign a contract, part of the contract is that if you choose to leave that job, you have a non-compete for a designated amount of time. Where, like, I can't get another job in this industry for 90 days. Or I can't start my own company for 90 days after I leave.
I gotta stay broke for 3 months?
Well, yeah, it helps people.
The fuck?
Yeah, exactly. So they actually just ruled the other day that the Federal Trade and Communications, that they can no longer do that.
Good. And TikTok's out of here.
Yeah, and they restored net neutrality.
What?
Yeah, that got restored too. They didn't
Wait,
even.
Hold on, that's big news, man.
Yeah.
So
they didn't even talk about it. Like, it was a whole big deal when it was about to get taken away, net neutrality.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just was flipping through stuff. It was just like, net neutrality restored, and I was like, I didn't even hear a word about it.
So that's pretty big, honestly. I don't know too much about the other topic. Net neutrality being reinstated is pretty big because that means that websites, obviously like Twitter or other large social media websites, can't necessarily be held culpable for the things that are posted on their websites.
That's not it. That's not net neutrality.
What's the thing that we're talking about now, though?
The non-competes?
Non-competes?
Non-competes or net neutrality?
Non-competes?
Are we talking about non-competes or net neutrality or...
Non-competes.
I'm so confused right now.
I am too.
All right. Non-competes are where if you're in the same industry, you can't find a job for another in the other same industry for 90 days.
Yeah, that's bullshit. So they got rid of that, huh?
They got rid of that.
Well, at least they got rid of that, not net neutrality.
They reinstated net neutrality.
I don't necessarily believe that because I described it and you told me I was wrong.
Net neutrality is they cannot relegate the flow of data. They can't throttle your internet.
Is that what that is?
Yes. It's not responsible for posting on the websites.
What is that then?
I don't know what that's called.
That's something different.
That's something different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So net neutrality is essentially where
free and fair internet.
Certain even like data. What do you call it? Not
data. Yeah, data throttling.
Yeah. So like operating systems, like Google would prioritize certain.
Yes.
Certain websites over others. So like
or
your
speeds.
YouTube will work different than your Facebook.
Or speeds.
Yeah, exactly.
Like speed of the internet or all that sort of stuff. So that actually got put back into place too.
Awesome.
And
Trump got rid of that, by the way.
Well, it was Ajit Pai got rid of it.
Okay, well, same person basically.
I
remember Ajit Pai. He was the Reese Cups guy. The Reese Cup mug guy that everybody hated for like a while.
Oh, yeah, because he was trying to push net neutrality.
Wow.
To eliminate it. Yeah.
See, I knew a little.
See, yeah, once I said Ajit Pai, you were like, oh, I know who that is.
Yeah, he's the big Reese Cups mug guy.
What's that? I don't know what you're talking about.
Ajit Pai was synonymous with his big, it was just like gaudy, a Reese Cups mug. And I do remember him being the proponent for net neutrality being taken out. That's very funny that you should mention that, man. Wow, I haven't thought about that.
Oh, my God, that is. Yeah. He does have a really big Reese's mug.
He loves that big Reese's mug.
That thing is huge. He's in court drinking it. So, yeah, Chairman's cartoonishly big.
Yep.
He's just like.
That was his thing, man. I see, I remember the whole net neutrality debate being a thing. And I do remember when it was taken away. And then I remember not necessarily
hearing about it ever again.
Not necessarily affecting me or being a big deal, at least not that I saw.
Yeah, I think it was hyped up to be a lot bigger of a thing than it ended up being.
Yeah.
But I think it's still important to to make sure companies can't do like throttle internet or
I guess I wonder how down the line this this new law is going to be kind of like how it's going to manifest itself in America. Like the whole idea of a business telling you that you can't take any other jobs in this certain field because obviously competition, and that's what I'm assuming that it is.
And so you can't just be like, F you, I quit, and then go start your own company.
Yeah.
And then be their direct competition.
Yep.
You have to wait 90 days, 6 months. Like they do it a lot of times in like wrestling. Like you can't leave this one and go to the other one for 90 days. Like, so you can't immediately, or, you know, like I have a friend who works in like the oil and gas and solar industry. Like you can't just jump to another oil, gas, solar thing.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
But yeah, but you've never had to be withheld from going to another job?
Nah, man. Come on. I don't do shit. What are you gonna stop me from like playing Xbox or something? What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
I'm gonna stop you from playing Xbox.
Nah, you can't do it. Try.
Wow.
I'll turn that on right now. I'll turn it on. Don't dare me. Yeah, it's very interesting though. I've never encountered that whole like you can't work a job, so I didn't even realize this was a thing. So it's new information to me, and it sounds like bullshit. It sounds like essentially they're trying to hold you back from making a life for yourself. So it only seems right that it should be taken away.
I see the point of it.
To a certain extent, I do.
Like
because you could take the same information that you have at one of those jobs and take it to the next job and utilize it there.
Right. It's to protect the company, but at the point it's like, but then it's like you can be in this toxic work environment where you don't want to quit because you can't go to another company. Mm-hmm. And then you're stuck there, and they can treat you however you want because they're like, "Go ahead and leave," and then try to find work for 90 days.
And I honestly think that's where they're going for. It's very funny, man. I'm telling you, when you look at the way that the modern company is run today, it's so much different than the way that the companies were run in their inception, like the 1950s and 1960s, where you could work a certain job and you could retire off of that job and you could have enough money to feed your family and your household. And nowadays we are in a, I don't want to say a rut, but it feels like a rut where it's like the amount of pay that we get is not enough for the amount of inflation that there is.
It used to be one person in the family would work, and you'd own a car, you'd have a house, you go on vacation, like you'd be able to save money. And now two people can work full-time jobs, more than full-time, and you can barely afford your house and groceries and like all that stuff. It's insane.
And it's just like companies have prioritized themselves over the individual or over the worker. And it's very difficult out here. So.
Yeah. And I mean, I get the whole point of like, you owe the shareholders the most profit.
Shareholders.
You possibly like, because if you're a publicly traded company, you have a responsibility to the shareholders to give them as much profit as possible. But that's not a black and white thing because ethics have to come into play. It's like how much do you squeeze the turnip to get every last cent out at the cost of the people who are running your company?
Wow. And honestly, isn't that a crazy thought where you wake up and you're like, how much should I squeeze these people? So not enough to make them pissed off so that they stop working at a loss essentially, but just enough so that they keep working.
Yeah, it's like, how do we piss them off just enough that they all quit?
How do you feel about the Rothschilds, Jonas?
This is the end of the episode. We ain't getting into that.
Fair enough,
we could do a whole series on the Rothschilds.
Hey, we could definitely do one, but I'm not doing the research.
I'm not either.
Fair enough.
They're a family. They do things. They're rich. So that's all the time we have for today's episode. Please make sure to like and subscribe for Jonas.
TNT.
We got